All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And it's the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson. Something I was kind of, meditating on earlier. And I only got one precept. Really, I read a couple of verses, but it's in the same chapter. And, whatever else the Lord got, we'll roll with it. But Lord willing, this lesson do be edifying. And, something I was thinking about earlier is that, concerning brothers on the other side. And when I say other side, meaning, how you have, for example, like us in Houston, we have a Tuesday camp, we have a Friday camp, and we have a Sunday camp. And as us, the brothers in the camp, as we are out prophesying, while the camera owners, which y'all don't see behind the cameras, that have other brothers who are out listening to us. And it's not just in Houston, but you have, camps across the four corners to where, you see the brothers who within the camp on camera, speaking, reading, holding posts, so on and so forth. But then behind the camera, you also have a group of listeners, a group of brothers on the other side. They come out faithfully, Tuesdays, Fridays, Sundays, talking about for Hill. But I'm sure everywhere else, But the thing is, what I want to touch on is that, you may have brothers, and all brothers are different. All brothers are different. For example, you may have brothers who have to stand on the other side and learn for only a couple months because he may get it fast. He may get the information fast. He may be applying himself. His life in order. And he'll be a good asset to the camp. So you may have some brothers who, and I want to build, a little foundation to this lesson first before I get to the point, because it shouldn't be a long lesson. But you may have brothers who come in quick. But you also may have brothers who they on the other side for a couple years, a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years, 5 years. Shit, we had a brother just got in the camp. Now I've been in the camp myself. I think 8 years, 8 years. But you had a brother who, when I was on the other side, right, standing behind the camera taking notes, he was over there with me. So the point is, the brother, he was on the other side for about 7 some years on the other side just taking notes, but he never stopped coming out. He never got discouraged, And the point is, now that brother, he in our camp, in a Great Millstone Houston camp, right? But you have different situations to where men may have to, get vetted. Not may, but men have to get vetted, while they on the other side. But the point I want to get to is that for brothers on the other side, don't get discouraged. It may take time for you to get in the camp. It may take time for you to get approved, because this is just not no thing to where, these other camps, they just bringing in anybody to have numbers. We got the mindset of John the Baptist, with which he said, bring therefore fruits, meat for repentance, meat for repentance. So again, if you're on the other side, don't worry yourself about when I'm gonna get in the camp, or, you try to overdo certain things to be seen. You try to overdo certain things to be seen, or you just doing too much, because that could be a bad look as well. Just come out, shit, take notes, continue to do your own reading and study and watch the videos, so on and so forth. And at the Lord's time, he will raise you up and bring you on the other side, man, to be a prophet. Again, I'm going to make this point. I'm going to get the precept. Just because you're not in the camp now, that don't mean you're not a prophet. And that's what I mean. I'm going to get an example in a few. But you may have a brother who's a part of the 144,000. It's just not the time period for him to get called on the other side yet. Remember, everybody get called at different times according to the Lord. And there's one example that I want to use. Because even Yahweh Shai camp, because Yahweh Shai had a camp, he was pretty much the head of the camp. Peter was second in command, right? And then you had the 11. But you also had two men who was following Yahweh Shai from the time that he got baptized by John until the day that he was crucified. Right? Now I'm going to get this example just to show you could be on the other side and the whole time you utter 144,000, you a prophet, you of the elect. It wasn't your time to be called yet. Now I want to get this example here, in the book of Acts. Because remember when Judas Maccabees committed suicide. Salaki. Not Judas Maccabees, Salaki, slip of the tongue. Judas Iscariot, he committed suicide, right? And after he committed suicide, Peter rose up and he said, look, Judas, he died as it was written for him to do because he gave the Lord up. We're going to read it. He gave the Lord up. So let's pick another man to take his spot. Let's pick another man to take his spot. And Peter, he laid down some requirements that had to be fulfilled in order for this new person to be the 12th apostle. And the point I'm getting at is that this new person, he was on the other side for 3 years. Because Yahushua got baptized by John, started his ministry, and 3 years later he was crucified. So this new apostle was on the other side for 3 whole years, and the whole time he on the other side taking notes. The whole time he was the 12th apostle. It just wasn't the time yet for it to be known. You see? So again, I just wanted to kind of build that point because that's the only point I really have for brothers on the other side. Bro, look, keep doing what you're doing. Don't be discouraged. Don't think, because I'm going to say this. And this was told to me, and I'm going to shut up and get to scriptures. This was told to me because I was doing lessons before or while I was on the other side. And the head of the Houston camp at the time, I told him, I was like, man, I'm doing lessons, the spirit on me. I remember he grabbed out my shoulder. He was like, hey, brother, just chill, just come out and listen. I was like, yeah, but the spirit on me. He was like, nah, that's a spirit, not the spirit shit. He was like, if the Lord wants you to be a prophet, you go come over here. And the first example I thought about was Jonah. If you a prophet, you gonna be a prophet. If not, then it ain't gonna happen. The point is, just keep doing what you're doing, and then the Lord will do his thing on his own time. But let's go ahead and get this precept, or these couple of precepts. This is the book of Acts, chapter. I'm gonna read the NLT. This Acts, chapter 1 in the NLT. And I ended after this if the Lord don't got nothing else. Acts chapter 1 in the NLT. It says, I'm going to get straight to the point. Verse 15, it says, during this time, now this after Yahushua got crucified, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 12 since this is all we got. It's Acts chapter 1 and 12 in the NLT. It says, then the apostles returned to Jerusalem from the Mount of Olives, a distance of a half mile. This after Yahushua just got beamed up. It says, and when they arrived, they went to the upstairs room of the house where they were staying. And here are the names of those who was present: Peter, James, John, Andrew, Philip, Thomas, Bartholomew, Matthew, James, son of Alphaeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas, the son of James. So all the 12 apostles except Judas Iscariot, because he just committed suicide. It says, and they all met together and were constantly united in prayer, along with Mary, the mother of Yahushua, and several other women and the brothers of Yahushua. During this time, when about 120 believers were together in one place, here it is, Peter stood up and addressed them. So in front of all these believers, Peter stood up. He says, brothers, the scripture had to be fulfilled concerning Judas, who guided those who arrested Yahushua. This was predicted long ago by the Holy Spirit, speaking through King David. Judas was one of us and shared in the ministry with us. Judas had bought a field with the money he received for his treachery, and falling head first, there his body split open, spilling out all his intestines. And the news of his death spread to all the people of Jerusalem, and they gave the place the Hebrew name Al-Sadama, which means the Aramaic name Al-Sadama, which means the field of blood. So Peter just going through some history, and he gonna make his point. Look, Judas gone. We need a 12th apostle, right? It says, and Peter continued, this was written in the book of Psalms where it says, let his home become desolate with no one living in it. It also says, let someone else take his position. Let somebody else take his position. Right? Now check this out. It says, so now we must choose a replacement for Judas from among the men. Now check this out. This is the requirements. This is the requirements. I might want to read this in the KJV. This is the requirements. Let's see. Acts 1 and 21. It says, so wherefore of these men which have accompanied with us all the time that the Lord Yahushua went in and out among us. So the person, and we're going to keep reading, but the person who was going to be this new apostle, he was around the whole time. Now, mind you, remember when Yahushua was on the scene, that was technically a camp. He was the head, Peter was second. They was going out and preach. You know, you had brothers on the other side who probably wasn't right there with him, listening, taking notes. You see, probably helping out, like brothers bringing waters, whatever, ice, whatever it may be. But you had to be there the whole time. Let's read it again. It says, I'm going to read the NLT. It says, so now, Acts 1 and 21 in the NLT, so now we must choose a replacement for Judas from among the men who were with us the entire time we were traveling with the Lord Yahushua. From the time, now check this out, from the time he was baptized by John until the day he was taken up from us. So how long was that? The time Yahushua was baptized by John the Baptist, he was 30 years old. The time he was taken up, he was 33. Just a small example to show the next person who was about to be raised up to be an apostle, the top tier of the 144,000, this man was on the other side the whole time. Now, mind you, it could have, not saying they did, but let's use Judah. He could have looked down on the brothers on the other side as if they just listening. They ain't got it. They don't know precepts. But the whole time, as Judas was in the camp, he wasn't of the elect. But the brother on the other side taking notes, coming out, right? Supporting. He was the 12th apostle the whole time. Just to show, just because you may be on the other side now, that don't mean nothing. You could be written in a book to be a part of the 144,000. It just may not be your time to cross over yet, man. You see? It may not just be a man time to cross over. That don't mean nothing. That don't look at yourself like you ain't worthy enough that you can't be a prophet. No, just wait. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. The Lord has said. Let's read that again. Let's finish it. It says, so now we must choose a replacement for Judas from among the men who were with us the entire time we were traveling with the Lord Yahushua. From the time he was baptized by John, so the new apostle had to be there on that day to see that. From the time Yahushua was baptized by John, from the time he was taken up from us, he had to be there for all 3 years, the whole 3 years. It says, and whoever is chosen will join us as a witness of Yahushua's resurrection. He will be the 12th apostle. So they nominated 2 men, Joseph called Barsabbas, also known as Justus, and Matthias. Then they all prayed and said, O Yahweh, you know every heart. Show us which of these men you have chosen as an apostle to replace Judas in this ministry, for he has deserted us and gone where he belongs. And they cast lots, and Matthias was selected to become an apostle with the other 11, man. The point is, this man, before he was selected by Yahweh Bashim Awashai through the church, through Apostle Peter being the head, the whole time, now mind you, remember, everything is written from the beginning. It was already written, this man was not just the 144,000, but the 12. The 12. You see? The whole time he was on the other side, just thought he probably was a little follower. He probably thought he was just a brother. No, the whole time that man was an apostle. Ain't even know it. So for y'all brothers out there who may want to actually come out and prophesy, you serious about it, but you haven't got that invitation yet to cross over, don't let that weigh you down. Don't let that weigh you down. You see? Again, we had a brother who just came into the camp. And he was on the other side since I was on the other side. But the Lord found the time years later, about 6, 7 years later, to say, okay, brother, come on into the camp. Now the brother out prophesying. Now he's out prophesying. That's why, again, just be patient with the Lord, like, man. Because everything that he do go be on a perfect timing. It's going to be the right timing for a man to come in. Because, again, yeah, you may know certain things now. You may know breakdowns, precepts, but when you come in, certain things might happen that could shake your faith. Rebukes. What if you come in and you think everything about to be all, just peaches and cream, and now you got to hear, certain counsels, or, you might get your ass cussed out, or you may see elder brothers may do something that you think off, but it ain't off, and now you don't know, you feel offended, your faith shaking. You see, it's a lot that can happen. It ain't just knowing precepts that the Lord gonna bring a man in. It's a whole lot of other things. What about your personal life? Is your life in order? You got a license? You have, like, you got a job. You see, do you have children? And with that situation, like, you pay child, like, all those things come into play. They ain't about just coming on the other side because precepts are breakdowns and you want to be a speaker at the camp. You just want to be on camera. No, it's a whole lot of other things that goes in to being on the other side. So maybe it's certain things that the Lord may want an individual to work on other than precepts before he bring a man in. Now, I'm not saying each person should be perfect coming in, because that's the point of coming on the other side. Now you're around like-minded men and we all growing together. You see, none of us perfect coming in, but as we coming into this thing, like it's saying in Hebrews, now we are part of the congregation of just men being made perfect. Being made perfect, man. You see, but that's pretty much all I got. Matter of fact, I get one more. We can end it on that. And I'll say this too. And just because a man in the camp don't mean you are the elect. Just because you're in the camp, I don't care how many years. Just because you're in the camp, that don't mean you got your Willy Wonka golden ticket to the chariot. That don't mean that. So again, a brother who on the other side, you really want to come prophesy, but you haven't got that invitation yet, keep pushing, man. Look at the 12th apostle, Matthias. He had to wait for 3 years taking notes. You see, bringing water, right? Supporting, answering questions. As Yahushua speaking, he probably asked him a question, he had to answer it. So on and so forth. For 3 years, the whole time, although he was on the other side, that man was at a 144,000. It's just he had to wait for it to play out, man. And just because you're in the camp don't mean you set. We all got to keep fighting, man. But let me end it on this. I want verse 6, but I'm going to start at 5. This 1 Peter 5:5. It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility, man. And that's another thing. Even us who in the camp, that's another indicator. Even not only watch how we treat brothers who in the camp, because we don't know who they are, we don't know who them brothers on the other side is either. We don't, matter of fact, I ain't got, but we had accounts from, brothers on the other side in our camp mention how, I ain't got to go into it, but, it's important to treat them brothers the same as you treat brothers in the camp. I'll just say that, because you don't know who them men are either, man. Now, what if, for example, Judas was shitting on Matthias for those 3 years, and the whole time Matthias was the 12th apostle? But let's get this. Let's finish this. I'll end it. I ain't even mean to go this long. This is 1 Peter 5:5 again. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, and that's what I want, that he may exalt you in due time. If it's up to the Lord, the time gonna come. If you a prophet, you gonna prophesy before all hell break loose. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. You see, Matthias kept coming out for them 3 years, because Peter said he had to be there from the day Yahushua was baptized by John to the day he was taken up. He was there the whole time. He ain't stopped. He ain't get discouraged because Yahweh Shai asked him to be of the 12 at first. He just kept it pushing. You see? And it says, read that again, we'll end it. It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, and casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you, man. But I'm in it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Chakwadash. And double honors once again unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them. And peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. And with that, shalom.